That's your heart.
Good morning. Good morning. We're back on the Captain's Log with Doctor Saman Freedman. Yes, did I say it right?
You said it right.
I tried. Awesome. So we talked to each other on Instagram, and I told you that I've been to 3 different dentists, and they tell me no, that I shouldn't fill it. Is there a reason why I shouldn't fill it? Fill the teeth, the space? Yeah, this one right here, that one. What do you think?
I think it's a personal preference.
Okay.
It's called a diastema, and that could be a relapse from braces. You've had braces before.
I did.
If you don't wear your retainer.
Can you open that? We could share it to your
If you don't wear your retainer, a lot of times what ends up happening is you get that space back.
And I got it.
And you got it.
Correct.
Now, that's a personal preference. Some of my patients love the space because they feel like it's their character. So even if I do cosmetic work on them, like veneers, we maintain that space. And other patients want to close that space, and that's why they come to me.
I've been looking at it for a long time, and I keep going to different dentists, and they say don't do it because of that. You said it's like a personal preference, but I kind of feel like I want to close it.
I think it would look very nice if you did close it. It's very easy to. You have different options. You can close it with something permanent or with something like Invisalign. And you know, it all depends on what you want to do.
What do they do? What would you do to close it?
One way of closing the space is by getting veneers. Everybody's heard of veneers.
Yep.
They're very popular. It's basically like porcelain.
But do you have to pull out my regular teeth?
No, there's no pulling of your teeth.
Okay.
We're not giving you dentures. We're closing the space.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I don't want my teeth yanked out.
No yanking. So basically what we do is we just very minorly, very conservatively prep the teeth. And by that, we just take away 0.5 millimeters of enamel. So you still have your enamel, and we cement porcelain on top of your teeth.
Like little...
So the difference between a cap, which is a crown, and a veneer is very conservative, and it's just 0.5 millimeters thick. So it's translucent, it's very thin, it just gets cemented on top of your own teeth.
It's like a little shingle.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, like a press-on nail almost.
Okay. On my teeth.
On your teeth.
And will you make these?
We will be sending them to a lab. There's different ways of doing it. Some offices do it in-house with a CEREC machine. However, that is not the most aesthetic way of doing it. I prefer more of a feldspathic porcelain that's layered, a layered porcelain that a ceramist does, and that's all they do all day long. Sit in a lab and layer this porcelain.
Oh, I had a good friend in Boston that did that. Her dad made all of the veneers and all that stuff for like dentists everywhere in the whole North Shore. In a lab.
And that's their specialty, so they do it all day long. So I leave it up to them, and my lab is excellent, so they'll be able to really do whatever it is that you want and keep it looking natural.
Okay.
So you'll still have a beautiful smile, you'll still have a natural smile. The other option is doing something like Invisalign, which is also very popular.
Yeah, but I have to wear that all the time, right?
Yes. So you
during the day
and night, 22 hours a day.
Oh my God.
And they're clear trays that you'll be wearing all day long, every day.
Retrain myself to talk?
No, it's so thin that you don't even, they're flexible, they're comfortable. You wouldn't even notice they're there after a day or 2.
And when I had braces, there was a lot of pain because my teeth were moving.
Right.
Do they do the same thing with the Invisalign?
No, the Invisalign is smaller movements, and it's such minor shifting that we'll be doing with your teeth.
Yeah.
If you do choose to close the space, that you'll have 0 pain, and you can take them off when you eat.
When I eat.
So it's easy to keep clean.
Do I kiss somebody with them?
I would probably take them off.
So I have to say, hold on a minute, let me kiss you. I gotta
Give me a moment. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they probably won't even notice you have them in, but I would probably take them off.
Okay. So the other day I was at a restaurant, right, and I was about to eat, and just before I ate, I looked over, and I was in this restaurant in Tampa, and there was an older gentleman that was at the bar, and he was very close to me, but he was on that like 90-degree angle. He was sitting on the side, and I was sitting on the front. and I'm about, just when my food comes, he somehow popped out his dentures out of his mouth and like was like pushing them around and cleaning them with his tongue in his mouth. I literally wanted to gag.
Yes.
I didn't eat my meal. The lady was like, "Oh, is everything okay?" I'm like, "Oh, everything's great, no problem." And I was so disgusted. I have a weak stomach. It's the worst.
Yeah, no, that's not good. No. It'll be slightly different than that.
Yeah, because I don't want to have to pop them out and then all of a sudden, like, I can't do that.
No. He's probably storing some meals in there.
Oh my God, it was so nauseating. I was ready to die. And I was laughing so hard that I like wanted to take a picture of it because it went on for a few seconds. Like, it wasn't just like he did this little move and then he was like literally like getting in there with his teeth, with his mouth,
his fingers,
it was
tongue.
a whole thing. And I was like, oh God.
Yeah. I haven't seen that in a while, but I have seen it.
Damn.
Yep.
So Doc, where is your practice located? You're in?
I am in Bayfront, so close to downtown.
Right. In Naples.
In Naples. Yep. Close to downtown Naples.
And you've been practicing in Naples for how long?
I've been here for about 10 years.
And where are you from originally?
I'm from Miami.
Miami?
Yeah.
And why did you relocate to Naples?
I got pregnant with my son, and it just seems like a slower pace. You know, safer, slower pace, nice little community.
Yep.
And
Dr.
I love
Dollar's
that.
on there right now.
Hi, Dr. Dollar.
See, we have mutual friends. Hey, Nikki. Patricia,
Hi,
how are you
Nikki.
guys? Thank you for watching today. This is the Captain's Log, and we're talking about what we're going to do with my two front teeth. Are we going to close them up, or are we going to do veneers? And is there any other options?
We can do, you know, honestly, in your case, I think your best bet, you can do composite veneers.
What's that?
So that is basically tooth colored filling composite, and we close the gap with that. But the problem with composite veneers, and a lot of people come to me because they feel like it's more economical and they can afford it. So what they end up doing is wanting them because they're cheaper.
Okay.
The problem with that is they're more temporary. So it's not a permanent fix. They
So it's
stain
like
and they chip.
If I got them bonded, right?
That's exactly what that is. It's bonding.
Okay.
Yeah. So you do close the space, but the problem with that is they chip, they stain, and they're not as, I mean, they can be very aesthetic, but they're just, I prefer the porcelain veneers because it just looks so natural.
And I won't, will I feel them if I did that?
Not at all.
No.
They would feel and function like your teeth.
And how long would the Invisalign last on me?
The Invisalign, what we would do is we would use a scanner, and it would be we don't take impressions anymore, so that's nice.
Oh, you don't?
No more impressions.
What do you do?
We scan your teeth with a 3D scanner, and that's sent electronically to the lab where we put
Do they
together your
3D print
treatment
my
plan.
teeth?
Yeah.
Do they?
They do. They
I thought they
absolutely
might,
do.
yeah.
And then you'll probably be in Invisalign for maybe 8 months.
8
if
months.
that. Maybe
And then,
6
but
months.
after the Invisalign, what do I have to do?
That's a very good question. So after the Invisalign, you're gonna have to retain.
Because I struggled with the retainer thing.
Yes.
As a kid, I was like, not happening. No way I could sleep with it. I didn't even want to like be seen with it.
So what you need to do is we need to get you a retainer.
Okay.
If you're not gonna wear your retainer because you haven't worn it before,
Chances are it's not happening.
chances are it's not happening. We would do what's called a fixed retainer, which is a little thin wire on the inside of your teeth.
Okay.
And it's cemented, bonded on
From the inside.
from the inside. Pros and cons, like with everything, there's pros and cons. It's harder to keep clean,
Okay.
so you have to be a little more adamant about keeping that.
I use the
area.
Oral-B. The
Oral-B.
Is that a good one?
That's a good one.
All right.
I prefer nothing with batteries.
Oh.
So if you can charge it, it's better.
Yeah, no, it's a
Because
charge.
it has finer movements, like a sonic movement.
So it's a charging one.
But you'd have to really spend some time on the inside
Okay.
and keep those areas clean.
And that stays forever?
That would have to stay as long as you want your gap to be closed.
Otherwise, they're just gonna run back
Over
side to
time,
side?
yeah,
They're
yeah,
gonna just
yeah.
run away again?
Yes. What you probably have is a muscle attachment called a frenum on the inside of your lip. And what that does is it pushes the teeth apart.
Oh, okay.
So another option would be to do laser there and remove that muscle attachment, which sounds so much worse than it is.
Yeah, that
You don't
sounds-
even need to be numb for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you do that yourself?
Do.
In the office?
In the office.
And what is that treatment called?
It's just a frenectomy.
and that's just for your mouth laser?
Yeah, so for what that's for is the laser's used to detach that muscle that pushes the teeth apart.
Okay.
A lot of times they do that on kids before they start braces. A lot of times...
my daughter had a spreader. She had a spreader.
An expander.
Expander thing, yeah.
Yes.
That was a freaking... that thing was a challenge.
Yeah, it looks kind of barbaric.
Yeah, it was like medieval times, man.
Medieval, that's
and I would get in there and crank it, and then she'd be like, I missed yesterday, and she'd crank it again, and I swear she liked the pain, too. She's like, it's gonna hurt, do it again. I'm like, no, this is so weird.
That's interesting, because most kids don't want you to do it.
Not my daughter, no. Yeah. She'll run right through a brick wall if she's gonna be famous for it. She doesn't care. She's like, how can I get it? Yes. She's crazy. So she did the expander.
Yeah.
And that thing was brutal.
So the expander is when you have a narrow arch and you need to move the arch so you have enough space for your teeth.
Okay.
Because you have almost too many teeth for your mouth as a child, or your teeth are too big. So instead of taking teeth out, a lot of times what we do back in the day, they used to take out teeth.
Oh, okay.
Now what they do is they expand the arch so that you have space for all your teeth.
And yeah, she had teeth coming in, and she had teeth that had to be pulled out.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of redid the whole thing, right?
Right. They gave her space.
Yeah. But why can't they do a little thing where they pull them together?
They can. It's called Invisalign.
So they use the Invisalign that way. Yeah. And is there an option to get something on the inside that just pulls them together, kind of like the retainer? We should create one if not.
So there is a system called the Damon system, and they're brackets that are placed on the inside.
Allie, how you guys doing? We're saying hi.
Hi.
Okay, I'm trying to talk.
Thanks for watching.
She's gonna redo my teeth. I'm gonna get a new grill, maybe a gold grill.
I was thinking we put your daughter's picture on one tooth, and then maybe your son's on the other.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that'd be cute.
And they can be holding hands.
That would be very cute. Yes, we'll link them.
It's a good look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good look.
So you said that I have the ability to put something in there, and then they crank it as well?
So they're actually basically like brackets, like braces, but on the inside.
Okay.
But I don't think it would be very comfortable to your tongue. No. Okay. Can you imagine feeling braces on the inside all the time?
No, I don't. I don't like that.
With a wire?
That's too much.
Yeah, I don't think that's good. I think a clear Invisalign would be a good option.
But then I have to maintain. That's what scares me, is that I'm going to do that for 8 months, and then I'm going to be like, ugh, I don't want to do this anymore.
So you kind of have to know yourself.
Okay. Yeah, and I get sick of everything quick.
Yes.
Real quick.
If you have a fear of commitment, then what you need to do is something like veneers if you don't want to close the gap.
And that's instant, because once you put them on. Mm-hmm. And do you do that? Do you go
2 appointments.
2 appointments. The first appointment you do all the measuring and all the sizing and fitting, and the second time you put them on?
And that day you leave with temporaries that are going to look like your veneers.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to see what your smile's going to look like.
That's nice. You have an amazing smile. Who did yours?
Thank you. My best friend lives in Melbourne, Florida.
Okay.
And I went to my best friend from dental school and her husband, and he did my veneers. I have veneers.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they can look very natural. Everyone thinks they're like chiclets and they could look fake, but you only notice the bad ones.
That's true. This is
just
true.
like anything else.
So do you only do the front 2 teeth, or do you do more to make them look normal?
I would have to measure your teeth and see the space in your bite.
Yeah.
And then we can determine, because you don't want 2 really wide teeth.
Right, yeah, I don't want these 2 shingles in front of my face.
Exactly.
That might not be a good look either. Right?
So we would measure your teeth when you come into the office, and we'd see what's the best way of closing that space and making it look natural. Okay. You only notice the bad ones like anything else.
Of course.
You don't notice the ones that look natural.
Well, Dr. Freedman is in Naples at Bayfront. You're right at Bayfront there.
Right at Bayfront.
And they can find you on Instagram? How can they find you on Instagram?
They can find me on Instagram, Doctor Saman Freedman. They can find me on Facebook.
Yes.
They can message me. The office number is 239-238-1176. We have a beautiful office, very calm and serene, and the staff's great.
So after we do, I still am not convinced on which way I'm going, but after we do a full exam in your office, then we're gonna do a second show, and we're gonna show everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
I do see a question that I do want to address.
What's the question?
It says, do they stain like with coffee?
I drink coffee every day.
Okay, so you're fine.
I'm in trouble.
No, you're
no,
fine.
I'm good.
No, that's the difference between bondings, composite bondings, and that's why I prefer the porcelain veneers, because they don't stain.
They do not.
They do not stain.
And those are. Do they chip or anything or no?
They can, like your teeth.
Yeah.
You know, your teeth can chip, so they can chip too.
Okay.
And you know, they last a very long time. And if your bite is comfortable and your bite is where it should be, then you should be fine.
Okay. Well, you heard it here on the Captain's Log, guys. Doc's gonna hook me up with some new some toofies. Thanks for watching. I'm going to be back in a little while as well with round 2. The second episode today, the Captain's Log, is coming up, and we're going to discuss my guest Tinder dates, because we did an episode yesterday with Dr. Dollar about Tinder, and is it good for your health or bad for your health, and we had so many requests. But I have somebody who's coming on. They're going to read us some of their Tinder Texas.
Is that the swiping thing?
Yeah.
Swipe left or right?
Yeah.
Which one's good and which one's bad?
Right. If you swipe right that's good. Swipe left is bad.
Left bad.
And
Got it.
we're on.
I'll be tuning in.
We're going to watch. Be good, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.